All right, so then starting off here with a minute or so with SWE PNW. Welcome to our March edition of our quick look at our section. So starting up first, we have a lot of ways that we communicate with section members. We've got a great website. We keep that up to date, and that is the starting point to link to everything else that we have, from the blog to our newsletter archives to our monthly highlights email that we send out, now named SWE PNW Happenings. Hopefully you've seen that come in your inbox, as well as all of our social media platforms. So we make sure to encourage you guys to connect to that. And so you might be wondering how you can connect to SWE PNW for events. We've got a lot of ways to do that, and there's some really neat features on all of this stuff. On our website, we do have a Google Calendar. You can sync that to your own Google Calendar, therefore it can show up on your phone and in your calendar when you're looking at that, and those sync instructions are out on the webpage. We have our Facebook listing of events. Please like them, interact with them, share them. If you've got pictures at the event, post those in the discussion. If you tag us, and you can tag us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, we will definitely try to make sure that we share those back out to our page and acknowledge your pictures, because we love to see the pictures at our events. We also have an email list. That is probably one of the best ways to make sure that you see stuff in your inbox, is to make sure you are signed up for our email list. So you can find that through our webpage as well. The other really neat thing is that we run all of our events, both paid and free, through Eventbrite. And you can find every event that we do by searching SWE PNW. You'll have different organizers there. You'll see things for professional development, social and networking, our section operations, and you can check all of those links out. And the really neat thing is that if you follow the event organizers, all of the SWE PNW ones, when an event gets published, you'll actually get a notification from Eventbrite in your inbox. So that is probably the fastest way that you would see our events coming down the pipeline, is to make sure you follow those organizers.
Teresa, quick question. How far in advance are events usually posted on basically any of the things listed on the slide? So the Google Calendar, Facebook, Eventbrite.
So that's one of the challenges that we do face as a section. We try to encourage all of our event leads and our VPs and our committee chairs to make sure they get the notification out as quickly as possible in advance. We do also try to do save the dates. So the earlier we know about something, the more we can help push it. You'll see in our next slide that we've got some events that we forecast all the way out into April to try to get, people planning a month, 2 months ahead. But sometimes it can be as short as 2 weeks. If something comes up at the last minute, we can provide as an opportunity, which is why we highly suggest making sure you're connected in all 4 of these ways to make sure that you're staying on top of the events that publish out.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. So with that, Sonia, did you want to walk us through what we've got coming up for some of our events and activities?
Definitely. So the slide in front of you basically shows the events and activities highlights that are coming up from early March to late April. So first event is on the list is March 10th, which is this coming Sunday. And it's one of our EC or executive committee meetings. It's a face-to-face meeting that's going to be held in Redmond. And this is our general monthly meeting that's open to all members. The next one on here is on the 19th of March, which is a Tuesday. It's the EYH Engineering Fair booth. That's going to be hosted at Edmonds Community College in Linwood, and this one's being hosted by our outreach and volunteering group. The next event after that is March 27th, which is going to be another one of our executive committee meetings, and this will be online. So we tend to try to do one face-to-face EC meeting and then one online meeting each month, so that we're touching base every couple weeks, but also just trying to accommodate people's schedules to do one of them virtually. So that will be, I believe that's a Wednesday, March 27th in the evening, and that would be online, and that's welcome. That's open to all members, so all members are welcome. The next event after that is going to be on 4/1. So this is a headquarters SWE Outreach Committee meeting, and that will also be online. And then early April, we're looking at having potentially a program management speaker event. And we're still kind of working through this. This would be actually the area that I focus on, which is professional development, but we still have a little bit of TBD on what this event looks like. We're trying to work through some details and trying to see if we can have it be, right on the cusp of We Local Bellevue starting, which takes me to the next event, which is on April 5th and April 6th, and that is the We Local Bellevue event, which is the conference, and that will be hosted in Bellevue this year. Or this time, rather, the We Local Conference is in Bellevue this time. And then the last event is on April 27th, and this is the ENSO Center workshop, which focuses on self-defense and stress management. It's one of our signature events that will be hosted in Redmond, and this is a really neat event. I actually attended this one last year with Teresa, and it was actually really, really neat. I learned a lot about basics to self-defense and stress management. And just like things that you can kind of do without having a lot of knowledge about the topic or background in the area, but kind of key things that you can think about. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's all really exciting. For those that stopped by our mid-year open house in January, several people from the ENSO Center, Jason and Sharon, stopped by to do a quick demo. So we're really hoping to see people there. I will also say that I love the fact that we're trying to get the HQ events on our section Google Calendar, so that we are letting our members know about those HQ committee meetings, because those are open to all members. There's some sign-up instructions in terms of how to join that. So if you're interested in joining the HQ meeting, make sure you're checking the registration and sign-up requirements on our Google Calendar, because we're porting that over straight from what we're getting from the society. And if you've got any questions, it also tells you where to go on and ask on those HQ items. So exciting that we're showing all of those opportunities.
Awesome.
So speaking of the opportunities, and that's what you can come and attend. What can you do behind the scenes?
All right. Okay. So should I go ahead and take this one, Teresa?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
I think that's
great.
the perfect one to step in for you.
Awesome. All right. So basically what you're looking at here is just the different opportunities to kind of get involved with the SWE PNW section. So on the left here, you've got join a committee, right? So we're always looking for volunteers, me especially. So professional development is the first bullet. And we're always kind of looking for folks to help out. Really, help with ideas on different types of events that you're interested in or you'd like to plan yourself. And then outreach and volunteering as well, college relations, scholarships, and virtual brand team, which Teresa's done a lot of work in that area. But really, we are looking for help and new ideas, right? I think we've done a lot of really neat things over the years, but we're always looking for new and creative ideas from our member base. The second pillar box, I guess, in the middle is focused on chairs and leads. And so if you're interested in taking a little bit more of a bigger role, there's opportunities to do that as well. So you've got your social and networking chair, which is an actual chair or lead role in the section. The Rainier Ramblings lead curator, which focuses on the different types of books and things that we're reading. Member engagement chair, corporate relations lead, and company liaisons. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity here to really kind of expand some of our scope and the things that we work on, and really especially the last two around corporate relations leads and company liaisons. This is a piece that I do feel that we could do a better job of, having relationships with companies and corporations around us and really collaborate on different types of events. So that would be interesting to kind of expand upon that area. And then the last section is helping with section operations. And so this is, join a signature event planning team. So we just talked a little bit about the ENSO Center workshop, which is a signature event. The banquet would be considered a signature event. So we always need kind of help organizing those types of events. And then help with a special task force or be a content contributor, blog, social media. And this one's really important too. You know, we are always looking for different types of ways to communicate with members, to advertise things, to get feedback on things. And so having someone that's kind of dedicated to thinking about content would really help us, I think, in our efforts to get the word out to our member base.
Yeah, and on the content contributor, it's also just anything from big things to small things for the blog or social media. It's even just interacting in the Facebook member forum and just helping keep the conversation going or putting prompts out there. So one of the great things, and Sonia highlighted, is that there's all kinds of levels of activities that you can get involved with behind the scenes and on planning teams. So if you are interested in something, we can right size the opportunity and your interest and find a way to help you get involved with a section, which leads us to the great way that we can help you get support from the section. So we have several emails out there for our various focus areas and for our programs and things like that. And you can see the summary on the screen, and this will actually end up getting up on the web page if it's not already. We're in the process of doing some web page updates, so they're kind of staging that out. But this is a great way for you to understand as a section member, if you've got a question on a specific thing, where might be your first pass. I will say, full disclosure, we borrowed this idea from the SWE HQ slide where they said, here's the emails and how you contact HQ. So we thought it was a good idea, so we set it up for our own section emails. So like if you've got a question on how to donate to SWE PNW, our treasurer email is going to be where you're going to direct that. Or if you've got a question on, our EC meeting or section records questions, that would go to our secretary. And then we've of course got our outreach, professional development, and social emails set up there. And if you don't know who to contact and this list doesn't help you, the input to our EC board is through our secretary. So send that question over to the secretary email, and Marina, this year is our secretary, and she'll make sure it gets routed to the right person or brought to the EC's attention so that we can figure out who the right person is to respond. And with that, that wraps up our minute or so with SWE PNW this month.